Hey, 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 everyone. Gene Ginsburg here. What's happening?
Hey, Jean. So excited today. I love Tech Tuesday, or Tech Tuesdays, Tech Thursdays. I thought it was Tuesday today. I'm so funny. No, I love Tech Days because I love tech and it's always fun to dive in. And I would just got off a call with, you and I are like tech. And then I got off a call with a girl that's like literally all she does, because we both do other things too. And it was amazing and it was super fun to listen to her give advice. I'm like, yes, 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 yes.
What was her advice on tech?
Really, truly, like one of the things she said that I thought was really good. And, I've heard this before, but it's always a timely reminder was before you ever start any new tech campaign that involves tech, like a new funnel or anything like that, to mind map out all of your assets that you're going to need and like all the steps and everything like that, at least as to what you know for your business. So especially if you are like, say you're a woman entrepreneur and you have a new product that you want to put together and it involves a funnel of some sort, is to like really mind map it out. And then you can turn it over to the people that are your tech team. If you're going to have someone else do it, it just makes life so much easier. So yep. I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, that's actually true. I think a lot of times we don't always do that. And so we expect that our team or whatever gets it all done. And then they're like, well, I have questions about that. So yeah, mind mapping.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting because I'm always been like run faster than I can run kind of person, And so when I first started in this industry, like I was an IT project manager. So that was second nature for me in the corporate world. But at the same time, it's like, I think when you're a person that produces high volume and you're really fast at it, you just kind of like, it's like subconscious. You just kind of do the thing, right? So I had to slow down in order to like put all the pieces together so I can hand off stuff to my team, even right. If that makes sense, from going from doing it yourself to having someone else assist you. It took me a minute to like figure out that I had to like write it all down and like really communicate what I wanted, not just expect them to read my mind kind of thing,
Yeah, absolutely. That's true. It takes a lot of communication to get that message over to your team, whatever you're trying to accomplish. So absolutely, it takes time.
And the interesting thing, there was a lot of questions that were being asked of her. And I think that from a tech person's perspective, like from mine and just listening, is that if you really take a step back, or for me to take a step back and look at women entrepreneurs, especially because, that's who's in our community, is they, like, we've been doing tech for so long, Jean, it's like second nature, like riding a bicycle for us. But that's not how it is for people that are business owners, but they're really good at what their craft, but maybe tech is not like their forte. For example, like I know that if I want to have a landing page and I need to embed a form in it from my autoresponder, right? Like that just is second nature to me, where there was a question and the tech lady said, well, she's like, well, can I just like put a different link and then people can like opt into my newsletter? And the answer is no. You have to go to your new autoresponder, create a little form, take that form code and put it in your new landing page, right? If you're switching autoresponders. And so it's just like basic stuff like that to me is super basic. For some people, they don't even understand what that is, right? So I think it's very mindful for me as a tech person to be really, to take things down to a very, very basic level when I'm explaining things.
Yeah, and I think there's also, it's not just the tech, but I think there's also a comment about user experience, right? The reason why you can't just have a link to your like email newsletter to subscribe is because you want to have a positive user experience for your audiences. So you embed the form in the landing page versus like having a landing page, having a button, then clicking that button to go to another page where they can subscribe to your newsletter and blah, blah, blah. Like that is just like a poor user experience. So it comes from like a necessity to do all, like this tech comes from our necessity of a better user experience too.
Well, and it's really interesting that you said that, because I love that, because we were also having the conversation about memberships, right? So should you use Facebook groups as a membership portal because they have units and everything in them versus like, you know, Kajabi or Kartra or Thinkific or whatever, right? And my answer, you know, they were debating back and forth and how Facebook is super easy and, you know, versus da 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 da. And my answer was, well, what about your user experience? How does your user learn? Because like I was sharing that I'm doing a Pinterest beta course right now. One of the things I was teaching was how to go through and do like Pinterest SEO, which is a little more complicated than, you know, just a social media experience. And right now I have everybody in a Pinterest, like in a Facebook group with the units, but I decided long term after teaching that, you know what, that's a little more complicated what I'm teaching. So I'm moving everything over to my Thinkific portal because for me, when I'm learning stuff that's more complicated or more tech oriented, I don't want to be in a Facebook group with units. You know why? Because I get distracted because I'm in Facebook. I want it in something where I can shut everything off because you can't, like, I can't shut off Facebook. Yeah, I can shut off the chat, but it's still all the people. Like, it's just distracting for me.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So
that's a very good point, is that you should find the platform that works best for your audiences. And a lot of times, yeah, I think Facebook is not going to be the best platform to deliver the content because there's just so many distractions and so many things. And the idea is that the user needs to be like, you know, paying attention to whatever it is, because if they're not paying attention, then they're not going to internalize, and they're not going to internalize, they're not going to do, right? Like, you can't do things by listening to something half-assed, right? Like, you have to really concentrate, especially if it's something technical, if it's something new, you have to really focus on it in order to internalize the information.
Well, it's interesting too, because I was in a Facebook ads like course a few years back, and it was a more advanced course, and she had, I thought it was super interesting what she did. She had the Facebook community where you could ask questions and da da da, and she had her content in the units there, but she also had it in a separate portal, like on her WordPress whatever. So I thought it was really good because if I could learn by staying in the Facebook, it's great, but I didn't choose to do that. I chose to go outside of it and to a different place because I have a hard time focusing when I'm getting distracted. So I thought it was good that she did it in both places. And some people, I'm sure, thought it was overkill, but for me, I'm like, I love this because you really care about your user experience. You're providing a place where they can make a choice.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually had a question come in from Dawn. I have tech problems with communication. They seem to make it more difficult and expensive than it needs to be. I don't know what you mean by they. I would like to know how to protect your company on social media. Don't know if I can watch it all, but would look later for answers and info. Maybe you can clarify who they are. They seem to make it more difficult. Information should be repeated 7 to 10 times to make the connection in the brain. That's true. So I guess the question is, how do you know how to protect your company on social media? I don't know. Maybe you can provide some examples of what kind of protection you're looking for on social media. I don't know, Angela, do you have any idea here?
So, like, how to protect your company on social media? You mean like legalities of protecting your company on social media? Like, if you're putting stuff out, how to protect yourself? Is that what you mean? Yeah, I'm not quite sure exactly where you're going with that, Dawn. I'm sorry. If you could clarify, that would be great. And then also, you have tech problems with communication. So, explain what you mean. Are you talking like, when you say communication, are you talking about like written communication, or are you talking about like, you know, you're on the phone or Skype or things like that communicating? I'm not clear about that either. I'm sorry. So
yeah, if you can just clarify, we'd love to answer the question. We just want to make sure we're answering it to what you're making sure we're adding value, right? And so we want to make sure if you can clarify that would be helpful. Because in terms of protecting your company and social media, I mean, are you afraid that people are going to like steal your content? Is that what kind of protection you're looking for? Because I mean, that is a possibility potentially, but the likelihood of someone stealing your content on social media, I mean, maybe if you're a very big person in the space and you're like, you know, I don't know, like a Gary Vaynerchuk or a Brendan Bouchard, sometimes people steal their content, absolutely. I don't know. I've never had really anybody steal my content. I can't say that I've had that.
I've had it a few times, and I just laugh because when I was new and the first time it happened, I was like, what? And then the second time I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this. They think my content is so good that they will steal it. In fact,
yeah.
I had a girl write me and she's like, my boss wanted me to take your ebook. It was like Facebook marketing in an hour. This was like literally like 10 or 12 years ago, and like rewrite the whole thing. And she's like, I don't think it's ethical. And I wrote back and I'm like, go for it. Like, whatever. Like, I was like, great. She loved what I did so well. So, that it was so awesome. I'm like, great, rewrite it, make it your own. Obviously I'm awesome at what I do, so that was my attitude.
Yeah, copying is the best form of flattery, right?
Right. I'm like,
if your content's that good that somebody's willing to take it and plaster it on their own stuff, that's definitely flattering, I think, because it's like, it's that good. Most people won't do that.
So, whatever. Here's the thing, like, you can either choose to invest your energy on worrying about all that stuff, or as far as what we were just talking about, if someone copies your stuff or whatever, or you can choose to invest your energy on creating new content and being more visible and marketing and getting out there and getting some more clients so you can get your work out in the world, right? So I really think it's a mindset thing as it relates to that particular.
That's actually a really good point that you mentioned, because I deal with that, not me personally, but I'm saying, like, I deal with that in entrepreneurship and entrepreneurs, and I see that very often where like, people get stuck on being like, oh, someone said something, or they're, and there's like a lot of negativity, or I had a nasty comment on social media, or like they go into this like rabbit hole where like somebody creates says a nasty comment on social media, and then they like respond, and the other person responds, and then it's like this like, hours of responses. It's like, I urge you to really think about your time, because you can get everything back in life. You can get you can get your health back, you can get money back, you can get everything back, but you can't get time back. And you have to think of time as a very important piece of your life of entrepreneurship and in anything that you do, right? So don't there's a lot of times where we can want to respond to people, or like we want to make sure that we're known and that we're right and all of that, or like go after somebody who's stolen our content or something like that. Like, think about that, because the amount of time, like, it's an opportunity cost. If you're spending the time going after somebody because they stole your content, or responding to like incessant messages, or responding to negative comments, it's an opportunity cost for you to not be doing the work that you should be doing in order to grow your business, get more money, whatever it is that you're doing, make a difference in the world. So really be thinking about that. And I've actually like had to kind of change my mindset over the last several years about that.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. And, I think too, when you're a newer entrepreneur, sometimes the first time you get your first nasty comment, it's like, whoa, like you could obsess about it and you think about it. But at the end of the day, you know what, if someone's going to be nasty and hide behind their computer, that's on them. That's their own outlook on life. Usually when people are super nasty, it's a reflection of their own inner worth, truly. And I would just blow it off. It's not worth it. And don't engage in it.
Yeah, it's true. It's a reflection of their inner worth or their current mood. Sometimes people are just in a shitty mood and they're like, just blah, because they're like, in a really bad mood, and they just wanted the world to know that they're in a bad mood.
Yeah, and I want to share something with you. So I had this experience once. This was maybe a year and a half ago, and there's a style of email that you can write. It's a Dean Jackson style. It's a 9-word email. And so my business partner at the time and I wrote this 9-word email, and it was great. It was about copy out to our list. And I had seen this girl. She's fairly big in the marketing space, and she is nice and always talks about mindset. Like, everybody loves her. And I didn't know she was on our list. And we sent the email out and we got some great responses back. She wrote the nastiest response. Like, what a crappy example of the 9-word email, like just this nasty thing. And I'm like, wow, it was just like totally out of character for her. And I thought, okay, this person that's a big mindset person, that's a great marketing guru, like her that's really like a reflection of her self-worth or her crappy mood, because truly, like, I didn't even respond. I deleted her and blocked her because I'm like, you know what, if you're going to be that, if you're preaching one thing and then doing another, that's not okay. If you felt like it really wasn't a good reflection of a 9-word email, why couldn't you write something like, hey, I'm glad that you're using this, ladies, but what have you thought about trying just to tweak this word or do this? It might work better for you, right? That's
you want to be helpful and add value instead of like being a nasty person who's like, oh, this was stupid or this was crap. And it's like, well, it wasn't that bad of crap if I get responses from it, right?
Right. So I just encourage you, if you get those kind of things, don't bother responding. Don't worry about it. Blow it off. I mean, yes, sometimes I do like read them and I'll think, okay, is this something that I need to think about? Like, is it something I could improve on? So yes, but after that, it's like, never mind. And the third thing I would tell you is don't be that person. Don't be that nasty asshole. Yes. Excuse my French. That thinks it's okay to talk to people like that, because you know what? In the day of social media, first of all, it will come back and bite your ass. I promise you. If you do that to someone will do it to you in a not so great way. And people think they can hide behind their computers, but nothing is like, once you put it out there, it's out there. Even though people say, oh, it's deleted. No, it's not. It's out there somewhere. Just don't do it. Be smart, be kind, take the high road.
Yeah, also just there's a lot of negativity out there, and don't be one of those people who's just proliferating the negativity. Think about it, and if you even if you don't like something, that's absolutely right. You can share your opinion, but do it in a constructive way, right? Don't just like blab how everything is terrible and how you're not doing everything the right way. Anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
No, I mean, I think that, so what I would like to say is, if you have any tech questions, please come join us on Thursdays at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. And if you have a tech question and it's before Thursday, just post it in our group. If you're not a member of our group, if you could put that up, Jean. We have a little link for it. You could just click on the link and we'll take you right to the group. It's great. Join us in the group. And then post your questions inside our group as well, just because, we do Tech Thursdays, but if you have a question that comes before that or after that, post it in the group and we're going to be happy to answer it. We may even do a little Facebook Live for you and answer the question.
Great. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great rest of the day.
Bye.